We're faced with, and what I always try to point out to all independent retailers, all retailers today, is that customers shop horizontally, not vertically. And what does that mean? It means that when they come into your store, they don't compare you to another jewelry store. They don't compare you to another clothing store. They don't compare you to the same kind of store that you are. They compare you to every store that they've been in the last 6 months. Customers are civilians. They don't view shopping experiences as being different. For them, shopping is shopping. So going to the grocery store is the same as going to a clothing store. And so their expectations. Do you realize 5 years ago, if I asked everybody in this room, do you accept debit cards? 5 years ago, you would have all said, what's a debit card? And today, if I ask you, do you accept debit cards? What's the answer? Of course, yeah. Are you kidding? I'll take our first mortgage payment. I don't care. But we accept, and why do we accept debit cards? Well, because gas stations started accepting them 5 years ago. And then grocery stores started accepting them, and then the customer demanded that I be able to pay with my debit card in any store. And so us being smart retailers, we automatically started accepting debit cards. And that's the way the world is today. You've got to have a fit and a finish and a look to your store. The highest compliment a customer can pay you is this very simple question: where are your other stores? When they view you as that chain store, when they view you as professional, where you've got multiple locations, then the customers paid you the highest compliment they can pay you. We cannot afford to look like we're a plague store anymore. The customer judges us too harshly. And I did see some handwritten signs as I went through this center. If I ever come back, I don't ever want to see them again. Handwritten signs are not allowed in a retail store today. Never have been, by the way. And so you will never see a Victoria's Secret. You'll never see a Gap. You'll never see a Banana. You'll never see an A&F. You'll never see any professional retailer with handwritten signs in their store. They are not allowed. It's a fireable offense. And so we've got to be at that same level. Because again, as Jen Carlson once said, ex-president of SAS Airlines, customers are crazy. They flip down the snack tray on the airplane, see a coffee stain, and they question the engine maintenance. Same thing, they come in our stores and they see maybe little dust bunnies on the floor going into dust rhinoceroses. Although I do have to admit, every store I saw was pristine. I absolutely love that. But they will look at different hints that give them a hint that they are not in the same kind of space and place as they were in their last 2 or 3 or 4 shopping experiences. So because this horizontal comparison, we've got to be as good as, if not better than, the majors out there. And let me tell you, it's not that difficult. It is not that difficult. It just requires the discipline. And so if we just try to copy competitors, that's what we call a race to the bottom. We've got to, yes, be as good as they are, as good, but we also got to go a step above it. We got to go a step beyond it to give that customer an experience that they are not seeing anywhere else. I'm going to quickly take you through these 4 trends. And these are emerging trends that are profoundly impacting the world of retail today. And then I will lead you to the rest of the presentation. First one I'm going to talk about is what we'll call a trend called Really Real. And this trend will speak to what's happening in the world today and what consumers are doing about what we call price and opinion transparency. It's a frightening trend. Then we'll talk about the best of the best. And that's a trend that should be Mary Brickell Village is the best of the best. And it should be tied into this trend and taking this trend to the next level, because this trend is a great one to ride on. And it's combined with story. And you have a story to tell, because customers in an emotional state, an emotional environment, buy stories. That's ultimately what they're buying. And then we'll touch on